Hello and welcome to the Quad Life. Well, it is a beautiful day here in Iowa, and it's a good day to get out and be around. But if I want to go anywhere much, I can't really do it just here in my wheelchair. If I'm fully charged, I can supposedly go for about 20 miles. However, at only 6 miles an hour maximum, I can't go anywhere very quickly, and I forgot to have Dad plug in my chair, and I'm only about half power right now, so that means at most I can maybe go 10 miles, and that's just not very far. Therefore, I use a van in order to get around further. Now, I use a full-size van, but depending on your needs and injury level, then vehicles really vary for people with a spinal cord injury. So someone that is able to use their arms and they can get around more easily and don't really need a lot of help, then there are a lot of options they can do. First, there are systems available that you can drive with just your hands. So of course, if you have a spinal cord injury, you can't use your feet to do gas and brake, but there have been systems that you can do everything by hand, and of course steer and do gas and brake, and that works for full hand movement. And I've also seen it work if you just have partial hand movement as well, that you only have very little control of your fingers, but you're still able to drive. And for either of these options, then the vehicles can vary on what you get. I have a friend that's a paraplegic, and she drives a Toyota pickup that she gets herself up from her wheelchair up into the seat of the chair, the seat of the truck, and then kind of takes apart your wheelchair and brings it into the vehicle, and then she can drive that. But probably about the most common vehicle that I see are minivans, that they have a small ramp that will come out the side, and you can drive on in, and from there some people will stay in their wheelchair and drive, and other people will transfer from their chair to the vehicle's chair, and that way they can drive and get around and do what they need to, and it works pretty well. I've heard some stories that of someone that is sitting in their wheelchair and some of their straps come loose that tie the chair to the vehicle, and this happens at like a stoplight or something, and that once they hit the gas, their whole chair will immediately go back, and they're like looking at the ceiling. That doesn't work too well when you're driving, but thankfully the situation I heard, it ended up alright, that the person was driving, or was moving like this. They weren't driving because they couldn't reach anything, but some people around them at the stoplight saw what happened and kind of made a leap into the vehicle while it was moving and were able to help her. So that's a good thing. However, get higher level injuries like me, unfortunately, or fortunately, take your pick, I'm not able to drive a vehicle. They don't have chin controlled cars, and with my muscle spasms, I have it that I sometimes can't move my head, especially when hitting, say, bumps on the road. And that wouldn't work too well if I'm driving in traffic. So for me, I of course just ride. And again, minivans are now the most common vehicle, and they are smaller and therefore better on gas mileage. But I have always used a full-size van, and this is a 94 Ford E150, and right now it has just over 200,000 miles on it. And I will link to another video that I did a while back that shows real well of how I get in and out of it, that I just have a lift that comes out the side and I back into it, and then it lifts me up into the vehicle, and after I'm inside, then we use straps that will strap my chair to the van instead of, you know, doing a seat belt like most people would do. Well, I belt my chair to the van. But the unfortunate thing about vehicles is that they are not covered by any sort of insurance or funding of that type. So the vehicle is a vehicle that has all the options or whatever, like any car, but then the adaptive equipment of lifts and hand controls and all that can be $20,000 or more, like mine and minivans I was talking about have lowered floors to them so that someone that's sitting in a wheelchair can sit up in the vehicle, and that of course costs quite a bit. But it's getting hot out here, and some other vehicles are getting noisy. Therefore, I think it's about time to get back in or go somewhere. But again, thank you for watching. Another part of having a spinal cord injury is vehicles and stuff that works. And tune in tomorrow for more to come. Bye for now.